Here's what's on our screen right now. This is the latest from the southern suburbs of Beirut, Dahyeh, which Israel has already struck today and which they had said they might strike again. Here we are, live shot of the Lebanese capital. Al Jazeera's Zaina Khodr joins us live. Zaina, what do you know about this?
Well, we just saw that strike come in. The Israeli army has threatened to carry out a series of airstrikes in numerous areas across Lebanon, singling out, for example, every branch of al-Qard al-Hassan. This is a financial institution belonging to Hezbollah, saying that they will target all their branches across the country. Behind me, you see the smoke. This is Beirut's southern suburbs, a cluster of neighborhoods which is now largely empty. Since the early hours of the morning, the hundreds of thousands of residents who live in this area have left. We've seen, there's another strike. Let's see where. Yes, Israel really keeping up this pressure, promising, saying that it is launching an offensive against Hezbollah, expecting a few days of fighting, saying that it intends to intensify the strikes, increase the strikes, and promising Hezbollah that it will pay the price for firing a barrage of rockets across the border in the early hours of the morning in retaliation for the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. So Israel stepping up its military campaign, threatening to target many areas. When they issue these evacuation orders, basically what it means is that it is causing mass displacement, further displacement, forcing families to make way to safer areas. And this in itself is pressure.
Zaina, can I check with you? You said something earlier that this area we're looking at right now, that everybody can see live on their screens, which has just been struck by Israel, and a reminder that this is the southern suburb of Beirut, Dahyeh, considered to be a Hezbollah stronghold. Zaina, you said this was largely empty. Most people have left?
Well, we've been in the streets since the early hours of the morning, 2, 3 a.m., and we watched families pack whatever they could and leave the area, a stream of vehicles. And then we've seen, people in their cars sitting on the side of roads, seeking shelter, whether in schools or in mosques, people trying to find room in hotels. Southern Lebanon as well, the Israeli army ordering an evacuation of dozens of towns and villages close to the border. And all the people there, those towns are now largely empty of residents. People are afraid. You see these strikes, while Israel sometimes issues warnings. Some of the strikes in the past few hours have come without any warning. And more often than not, when that happens, these are targeted assassinations. There have been a lot of reports and rumors that high-ranking members of Hezbollah have been targeted and killed in these strikes. Hezbollah has so far remained silent and not providing any details on who was targeted, but more than 30 people have been killed since the early hours of the morning, since Hezbollah launched those barrage of rockets. As I speak to you, I can hear the sound of planes and the fighter jets. I can hear the sound of drones. There is a great fear here in Lebanon that we can see days of violence. It's not really clear how the situation can be contained.
Zaina, there's some vital context that I'd like you to bring to our viewers on Hezbollah and Israel. In the run-up to this war, Hezbollah had said, if there is a limited strike by the U.S. or by Israel against Iran, we will not jump into the war. But our red line is if you go after either regime change or if you assassinate the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, which they did in the very first minutes of this war. What was Hezbollah's response?
Well, Hezbollah is in a very difficult position. It has lost a lot of its military capabilities. Near daily, it has been coming under Israeli attacks. Much of its military leadership has been killed. In the past hour, there's been yet another targeted strike on a vehicle, another Hezbollah member killed. But like you said, a red line, the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, for Hezbollah and its supporters is the divine leader. They call him our guardian, the leader of the nation. So not reacting will put the group in a very difficult situation, if you like. But right now it is its supporters, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who are being punished. It's collective punishment, really, for what Hezbollah has done. And Hezbollah knew this. They've been warned. The Lebanese state has repeatedly said that they've received warnings that Israel intends to escalate in Lebanon if there is any hostile action taken from Lebanon towards Israel. Now, some may argue that there are internal divisions within the organization, and this was a decision that was not taken by the top command, and that there are different wings within the organization, some calling for a revenge, others believing that this will not work in the group's favor. Yes, the group still has missiles, an arsenal of missiles, but how much can it really change the balance of power in this regional war? Or is this about trying to exert more pain, if you like, on Israel as long as this regional conflict continues? But what is telling is the fact that since last night, there has only been one barrage of missiles fired across the border. So the question we need to ask is what Hezbollah intends to do next.
Zaina Khodr, I'd like to thank you on behalf of our viewers for your remarkable composure, even as we can hear explosions behind you. We just saw that very tall plume of smoke after the latest Israeli strike on the southern Beirut, southern suburb of the Lebanese capital, Beirut. This was just a few minutes ago, Israel executing on one of its threats to strike.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.